Colfians, it's a great delight to be here for a second year. And can I begin, first of all, thanking the two school captains for their excellent toast to the society which I have the honour of being president of, which means that I don't really do anything, but other than what I can address you now. And the hard work was done by the chairman, the members of the committee, and could I echo, although to repeat, the thanks very much to Russell Joyce, who's really organised this dinner and the society. I'll come back a little bit to talk about that quietly in a moment. But to the two school captains, I remember many years ago, quite a long year, there's not as many as 40, but when I was school captain, in those days you were made to wear your school uniform, and the vice school captain came as well, but didn't have to make a speech. And you appeared in front of the old Colfians, and there were bread rolls and sorts of things. Yes, they weren't now, but they were throwing at you. And not only are the school captains more civilised, but I think Colfians are more civilised.
Oh dear.
So that's a good thing. And we also have Octavia. You won't, when I was school captain, it was a boys' school, but you'll be interested to know you weren't the first school captain to worry about whether you had spilt alcohol over your dress, and that's something we won't go into. But it's a great pleasure for me to welcome Mr. Anthony, who is headmaster of school when I was inducted in 1979 into the school, and really did bring the suitable sense of terror and respect that a headmaster should have. His words of encouragement to me and my vice captain was a clever one, and when we had an election and I ended up being voted, it was only a consultative thing, wasn't it? I think it was trying to. You would consult the pupils, but I'd come out top. And he said, very interesting, that's a big surprise. And then when I got into university, and that was also a big surprise. It's that sort of encouragement that brought me here. So I'm seriously, delighted that it was the difference, and it is the difference with our current headmaster, and certainly Mr. Anthony, that made the difference for my own parents for why I went to the school. Now, the only thing I would say, and it's a matter now as a former governor, I approve of Mr. Anthony, but it's something I've never said before, but it's an element of great bitterness that I have towards her, but I respect. I passed the 11th class in Bexley. My parents thought that the grammar schools were going to be abolished and that they should be encouraged. They were encouraged by next door neighbours who sent their children to, guess what, Elton College. And so I was encouraged to apply for that common entrance exam and also to college. My parents didn't know very much about schools at all. And they let me decide. And I decided that I'd been in the entrance exam for Elton College, and there were some really, really annoying people who were in front of me who I just couldn't stand at all. There's no way I wanted to go to that school, so I said, Cox. And my parents were quite nervous. They went for the interview with the headmaster, and they didn't know it was for a scholarship. And this was actually, and said to them, apparently, how would you feel about coming to school? Said, about scholarships? And my father said, I don't know, just a place at the school. Anyway, we got the offer back, and the next step after was a scholarship and an exhibition. Now, at the beginning, that didn't really matter because the exhibition was at a fixed amount, but the scholarship was a percentage of the fees. By the time I got to the sixth form, that was a big difference. But as a former school governor, well done. That was incredibly well done. Now, the only other second thing was all the annoying people turned up in the third form, they were sitting in front of me in golf. So, and so I'm very pleased to see that they're here today. Now, something about the school's achievements are great, and we'll come to them in a moment. Something about the Old Colfian Society, absolutely right. Go to, if you can, the Old Colfians Club and what Vernon has done. It is a step change for the Old Colfian, and we want to embrace that. We really want to build on what's strong. We've got very good, strong sporting clubs there, but also build on a wider Colfian community which exists. And I think there has been attention in years gone by about that. And what Vernon is doing is and with the support of others, is extremely good. That's the first thing. The second thing I would also say as well is the participation in events such as this. You may have seen on your emails offers to privileges to the Oval, and we're going to do things for Lords. And Russ and I are talking, we're going to sort of have a sort of Colfian nectar point sort of thing. So listening to me speak is worth about 20 nectar points. England and the All Blacks for free, sort of basically. So we're going to do that, and it's quite important also for the society, which it is doing, to integrate with pupils at the school and spread some of the achievements and work experience that people have had. And it may not just be commuting in on a Monday morning for 55 years, but nevertheless that's quite important to share. Now, it's all very well listening about the headmaster go on about exam results and things, but you know, sometimes there's got to be trust. And I was here last time, and the headmaster promised that the school song would be reintroduced.
Oh, that's great!
And it doesn't matter how many Oxbridge people, how many times, well, I hope we will be able to, how many times people, you can't trust these, and it falls down. Now, I had my spy, so I knew this was happening. So, he's got to come to this, whether he likes it or not. And unless he reintroduces it, you'll see, and we'll soon turn to the back, and we don't need to read it, but it's there at the back. But we have a new challenge. And I would have inflicted it on you, Dee, or Katie Collins, the music teacher at Coles, who's threatened to resign as a song. The words are the Coles Carol. That is the new song for 100 years. And I can probably say to you in a moment. Well, and she threatened to hand in her resignation, but I advised her that it doesn't count. And we'll turn to that in a moment. We're going to have the Coles song first. School song first. Before I do that, I just need to say two very important things. The first thing is, I wasn't actually, rather like a headmaster, I wasn't actually honest when I spoke to you before. He said the only thing I do is get up and bore you for a bit once a year here. The second thing is president of the Old Colfian Society, which is quite different and quite serious, is that I laid the wreath at the memorial armistice service at the Old Colfians. And I've done that for the last 2 years, and it is a credit. Those of you, if you can come, and many of you do, it is a great credit. Major Cherry, for a large amount of money, I'll tell you about this when he was Flight Sergeant Cherry and I was just a poor cadet.
Oh.
The statute of limitations hasn't run out yet. But it's a great credit to Major Cherry, Captain Russell Joyce, and the rest of the assembled military force, which I think very soon will mount to Britain's defence forces. And it is an impressive and serious ceremony. So if you can come, it is We are not only the 100th anniversary of the First World War, it's my wife, actually, South African, who marked on the Waldorf Memorial, which is the First and Second World War, for a school that would have been a much smaller school at the time, how many names there are on that memorial. And that was my wife who referred to that. So there was a great sacrifice, and the sacrifice wasn't just those that were that were fallen, but those that served and lived on. The second thing I should say, and the headmaster has been generous in this respect, is in relationship to, we are the Colfian Society, but Abraham Colf refounded the school. He didn't found the school, and this year, it's a matter of some debate at the moment, I say, and just doing the maths, it's the 440th anniversary of the founding of the Free Grammar School of Queen Elizabeth in Lewisham, which is our school, which was refounded by Abraham Colf. The headmaster apparently is marketing, and the whole thing is on the 450th anniversary. Now, I was not very good at maths, but one of the, and I was put into the sort of lower stream, and that was taught by a formidable teacher at the time, Mr. Edwards. Sadly, he has passed away, as I learned in the Colfian magazine, as I understand, the oldest old boys magazine. Now, he was formidable because one of the difficulties, if you're a bit thick like me and you don't understand maths, you need a teacher to explain it clearly and simply. And he did that. He was also very good at stopping Eagle, as we all know by a surname, wearing white socks. This, I'm afraid, I am a product of the 1980s. White socks were very popular at the school, and many of the teachers will remember. And Eagle, his voice, I mean, if you knew him, it would come off. Usually and also wearing unorthodox jumpers. Now, or Pringle jumpers. Now, all these are now regarded as fashion faux pas. But in the course of the 1980s, Thatcher's children, white socks and Pringle sweaters. The rest is history, really. That's where we are now. So, for the younger generation, that will soon be the fashion of the future. But it caused me some great pain, and that's where to read that of his sad loss, because I was someone who was not adept at maths, and I overslept actually for my own lesson, but it's by half an hour. But it was a tribute to Mr. Edwards that he actually phoned me up, and I got there, and I managed to pass my maths O-level, which was seen as quite an important thing, because you couldn't go on to anything else. And he had a way of simplifying things, which is the art of a teacher. It's not just to teach the gifted, which is very important, but it's also to teach the challenge. And I look around me, and I see many people.
Please.
Could I now ask us all to be upstanding? First of all, Katie, for which I think Katie said, she has never come across a school song that is any better than this.